Hello, Cancer. This is Mary Elizabeth with Sacred Love Tarot. Happy birthday, by the way. Hope this reading finds you happy, well, living in a place of gratitude and being very open to what Spirit, Source, God, the universe has for you. This is your July 2023 tarot forecast. We are going to be using the Energy Oracle, the Crow Tarot, and the Spellcasting Oracle. So let's see what your energy is for the month of July. Here we go for Cancer. For Cancer. Alright, Cancer, there's victory. There's Archangel Ariel. So what I want to say about Archangel Ariel is that Archangel Ariel is all about creativity and sensuality, right? So perhaps maybe it's time that you bring sexy back into your life, that you bring sensuality and passion back into your life. And then we have the Temple Path. And you do it in your own way and in your own time. So the Temple Path is about finding a place that is just for you. Finding your muse, finding a place where you can connect with self again, getting back into nature, getting back into where your passion lies, where your creativity lies, getting back in connection with Spirit, Source, whatever deities, gods or goddesses that you resonate with. And by doing all of that, it brings you into a sense of victory. This is living for self. This is stepping back into your passion, stepping back into your creativity, getting back your fire, stepping into sensuality and stepping back into sensuality and perhaps maybe tapping into your sexuality, right? Figuring out what turns you on, figuring out what ignites that fire, that passion within you, right? And I know when we talk a lot about sensuality, that goes for some people hand in hand with having a person to share that with. But I think that a person needs to find that within themselves, right? What makes you feel? What makes you feel pretty? What makes you feel handsome? What makes you feel sexy? What makes you feel sensual, right? And then do these things for you, not because you're obligated to do them for somebody else, and not because you need somebody else to do them with. I mean, I can lay in bed and get pretty sensual by myself, so I'm just saying. So there's that temple path. There's you finding that path that works for you. And within that path comes victory, comes success. And you can see her with her eyes closed. And the success card is a pretty sensual picture. If you look at it, she's beautiful, she's divine, she's sensual, her eyes closed, her lips are parted. She has this beautiful gold and red aura about her that just screams success, beauty, sensuality, passion. So I think for you, Cancer, the month of July is all about finding those parts of yourself that you've been missing for quite some time, and finding those parts of yourself that you always thought that you needed someone else to fulfill, right? So let's see what the Crow Tarot has for you. Here we go. All right. So we have the Four of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Three of Swords. One more. And the Five. It's amazing how we talked about sensuality, victory, success, finding your own way, and we have two cards. That one card is about loss, and the other card is feeling a void or feeling left alone, rejected or dejected. So we have the Four of Cups, and this is Spirit offering you an opportunity. But sometimes we are so complacent and comfortable with where we are not really looking to accept any more on our plate, right? This opportunity could bring you into a time of more prosperity and abundance. The Ace of Pentacles. The Aces are always gifts from Source, gifts from Spirit. So this is Spirit's hand reaching out to you, saying, I have this opportunity for you. It brings emotional stability and balance. It brings sensuality, creativity, victory, success. And there's a little bit of uncertainty there, right? Because maybe you're comfortable with where you are and you don't need any more than that. But it's an opportunity for you. So instead of avoiding it or ignoring it, perhaps maybe giving it a little bit of your attention to just kind of see how that works. And then we have the Three of Swords, and the Three of Swords is a loss. Now the Three of Swords can also be a physical death of someone, a person physically leaving this world or this plane and crossing into the next. This could also be you letting someone go in your life, and it becomes a very heartbreaking experience. Or you may have already let someone go and it's become a very heartbreaking experience. But then there's also this sense of really feeling left out and feeling alone, feeling abandoned or lonely, and feeling as if you need to find a new direction, or perhaps maybe a direction to where you are finding people more like self, right? Kind of like your tribe, if you will. It seems like there are a few people that are only invested in the relationship that you have with them for what you can do for them. And the moment we start thinking about ourselves, the moment we start thinking about our passion, our creativity, our fire, our success, our connection with Spirit, Source, God, whatever deity or goddess, gods, whatever you follow or you relate to, it seems like they then we can see the three crows left in the tree are turning their back. So it almost feels like you're looking for something more, right? Something more than those who are only invested in the relationship with you for what they can get out of you, right? This has to be a passionate relationship, a sensual relationship, a relationship of victory and success, a relationship of not a relationship of let me constantly do for you while you constantly take and I get nothing in return. Not that relationship. A relationship with two people who can, or whatever your tribe, however many are in your tribe, can build you up and pick you up when you fall and help you towards the success and the passion. Not people who are going to be yes men just to get what they need from you. So I kind of think, I kind of went off track. I think that with this Three of Swords, that there is a loss here, and be it a physical loss or an emotional loss, this loss has you feeling a little bit alone, and there's a hole, a dark spot, where this person once was, or these people once was, and it almost has you feeling, again, rejected, dejected, lost on your own. So I want to say to keep in touch with your family, keep in touch with your loved ones. Spend a little extra time on the phone. Spend a little extra time talking, and don't forget to say I love you. Don't forget to tell people how you feel, because if this is a loss, a physical loss of someone who's very close to you, there may be moments where you feel as if you haven't done enough or haven't said enough. So, and that can lead down a pretty lonely road for a little while anyway. So take that into consideration as you're going through the month of July. Okay, but you're coming out of it, because we have the Ten of Cups, and this is a very balanced, emotionally balanced, loving, caring, happy life. And the bird above the cups is just all about bringing messages of joy and happiness and love. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles, and this is you building that nest egg for the future. And then with that whole Three of Swords and Five of Pentacles, there's the Eight of Swords. And it's almost like you're putting yourself in a bubble. Like, I don't want to face this. I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to acknowledge how I feel. I don't want to acknowledge where I am. I don't want to acknowledge what I'm thinking. I just want to wrap myself up in this cocoon of ignorance is such a harsh word. This cocoon, I just want to wrap myself up in this cocoon of not facing reality, not facing the truth, not facing how I feel, or what I'm thinking, or what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, what I want to do. I just don't want, because when we lose somebody, be it in a sense of death, or when we lose someone who is very, 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 very close and very, very, very important to us, it leaves this void, and it's something that we don't want to talk about, we don't want to deal with, we don't want to acknowledge. So we blind ourselves to it, and we wrap ourselves in this sense of that word ignorance comes back, right? You hear the ignorance is bliss, right? We become ignorant to it, blissful that we are not obligated to share how we feel about the loss that we've just went through. So we are out on this in the shadows by ourselves, and we don't want to deal with anybody or talk to anyone or feel a certain kind of way. We just don't want to deal with it. So this is just so much feeling like a death, a parting, a death of someone who is very close to you. So, I mean, we have accepted this emotional opportunity that Spirit has gifted. We've accepted this financial opportunity that Spirit has gifted. We're building this wonderful nest egg. We're in victory here, and we're talking about our passion and our lust for life, or our passion for life, and we're finding, and that's also like finding a place where you can go and just Say what you have to say without the responsibility or obligation of saying it to anyone. Do what you have to do without the obligation or responsibility of explaining to anyone. Because sometimes it's okay to be alone. Sometimes it's okay to find that spot where you can just scream at the top of your lungs, and you can just stomp your feet, and you can just have that emotional breakdown without the responsibility or obligation of explaining why the fuck you feel the way you feel to anyone. And I think that's what that temple path is all about. Because if this is a death of someone, or the breaking of a relationship in some way that you've had with someone for quite some time, there is going to be this void, this feeling of loss. There's going to be this feeling of not wanting to deal with it, of not wanting to talk about it, of not wanting to express how you feel or what you're thinking. And sometimes when we get into those types of mental situations, we just completely shut down, physically, emotionally, spiritually, but we have to figure out a way to get that out. So perhaps that temple path is you finding a place where you can just let go and not feel that you're obligated to talk about what you don't want to talk about, and to express how you feel to people who you don't want to express how you feel to right now, right? So let's see what the last 3 cards are. Okay, so there's this collaboration. It's a collaboration, it's a conversation, right? There's other people there, they're wanting to help, they're wanting, yeah. It's like the 5, and it's interesting because we have that 5 of Pentacles, and the 5 of Pentacles in the traditional tarot is going toward a place of worship for help. And in the traditional tarot, the 3 of Pentacles is the church. It is that place of worship where one gets the help that they need because they feel the way they feel. So this is a collaboration, a conversation. This is help from those who really want to be helpful to you. So I guess what it's saying here, that instead of you keeping this all in and blinding yourself to the reality of what this is and how this makes you feel, it's about having this conversation, allowing people to help, standing in your power, and expressing how you feel, and becoming balanced and stable with it's okay to feel the way you feel. It's okay to talk about it, to cry it out, to scream it out. It's okay to let go. It's okay to look at this and recognize this. So there's so much help going on here. There's so much passion and creativity and expression going on here. And we have the Chariot, which just talks about following your intuition and being able to rise above the chaos that we have here, or the sadness, or the mental exhaustion that you feel from either someone passing or needing to release someone that you have had in your life for quite some time. And when that happens, there's just this feeling of loss, and feeling of not, it's almost a feeling of it's my fault, right? It's my fault that this person has passed. It's my fault that I had to break this relationship. It's my fault that I'm feeling dejected or rejected. It's my fault that I'm feeling lost and lonely and alone. It's my fault that I'm feeling as if I have nothing and I've lost the only thing. So it's a lot to take on that type of responsibility, especially by yourself. But you get through it. You get through it. You get through it with the help of friends. You get through it with the help of you fighting the temptation of going backwards, right? Sometimes, that happens. We get into this moment to where we recognize that we can be, that by releasing and letting go, there's this sense of freedom. But by also releasing and letting go, there's this overwhelming sense of disappointment and hurt and pain. And if this is a family member passing, instead of someone physically leaving or you cutting ties, then it's you feeling responsible because you weren't there, or you could have done this more, you could have done that. And that's a heavy responsibility to take on for oneself. So be very careful that if this, whatever this is, whatever this 3 of Swords energy is, and this 5 of Pentacles energy is, and this 8 of Swords energy is, just make sure that you are not blaming yourself so much to the point to where you fall off, you go back to old ways, if that makes sense. So you have a support system, and it's very important to lean on them even though you may not want to. So it's interesting that we talked a lot in the beginning about success and sensuality and creativity and expression, and finding a place where you're able to express yourself in that way. And I think from loss, we have the ability from loss to gain a sense of compassion and empathy. And I think loss, in a way, kind of opens us up for more to be conceived in our lives, right? Now we want to do something that shows the person who we have lost that we can succeed, we can prosper, we can forge ahead after a time of grief and understanding how we feel, after a time of leaning on our tribe or our friends, and after a time of turning away from the situation, right? We have to turn back and we have to look at it and say, okay, I'm ready to face this. I am ready to deal with this. I am ready to recognize this for what it is, right? So in a sense, this is you finding success. In a sense, this is you finding a bit of yourself, and being passionate about your life, and being passionate about success in your life, and about being passionate about love, companionship, abundance and prosperity, and success, and just rising above it all, and being the person who you see yourself as truly being. Death, heartbreak, it has a way of affecting us like no other emotion can, or no other feeling can. It heartbreak and loss and being rejected or dejected or cutting somebody off who you truly love has a way of just eating at your soul to the point of where you don't even want to breathe or exist. I'm going to stop because I'm getting... Anyway, here we go. So we are going to use our spellcasting oracle and see what cards come out. So our first card is home. So this is surrounded, home, family, reconciliation, forgiveness, reconciling with someone, forgiving someone, being forgiven. Peace. Life purpose. You have the answers. And this is traveling. Now, be it a spiritual travel or a physical travel, you're traveling. It almost feels like you're traveling home to reconcile, and to find peace with whomever this is or whatever the situation is, and you knowing the answers, you knowing what you have to do. And I love this reflection of the tree of life and the moons that surround it, using your intuition, knowing that this is something that you have to do for you, for your life, for closure, to find the peace within yourself. Now, this could be astral traveling, or it can be physical traveling, spiritually traveling, but I think because we have home here and reconciliation, this is you physically traveling back home, wherever back home is, and finding that peace for yourself and finding the answers that you need for yourself. So Cancer, I hope that helps. Know that you're divinely guided and loved, my friends. Talk soon.